Have you ever stopped in the middle of a busy day and asked yourself, who am I really? Why am I here? And where did this entire universe come from? Most of us are so busy rushing to work, checking our phones, and paying bills that we forget to ask the most important question about our existence. We live life on autopilots, taking everything around us for granted. But what if your entire reality was not what it seemed? What if you were just character inside someone else's mind? Today we are diving into a brilliant masterpiece book called Sophie's World, written by the famous author Jostein Gaarder. This book is a fascinating mix of mystery novel and a complete guide to human thoughts. It takes us on a journey through thousands of years of human history to show us how we can wake up from our daily sleep and truly understand the world we live in. By the end of this video, you will look at your life with a complete new set of eyes. Welcome to Book Paradise. Here we summarize powerful books in a simple way, discover life-changing ideas and learn how to think better and achieve greater things. So stay connected with us. Let's get straight into it. Waking up to the wonder of life. Imagine a giant rabbit being pulled out of a top head by a cosmic magician. Because the rabbit is massive, we are all born living deep down inside its warm fur. As babies, everything around us a total shock. We look at a bird flying or a tree growing open wide with wonder. But as we grow older, something unfortunate happens. We sink deeper and deeper into the rabbit's fur. We get comfortable. We stop looking up at the magician. This is exactly what happened to our main character, a 14-year-old girl named Sophie Amundsen. One day, she comes home from school and finds a mysterious little note in her mailbox. It contains just one simple question. Who are you? Soon after, she finds another note that asks, where does the world come from? These simple questions completely disrupt her ordinary life. She begins to receive letters from a mysterious philosopher named Alberto Knox. Alberto tells Sophie that the only things a person needs to become a greater philosopher is the capacity of wonder. Before humans had science, they used myth to explain the world, and they chose to look directly at the magician, the three giants of Athens. As the Sophie continues her secret lessons, Alberto takes her deeper into history to meet the three absolute giants of ancient Greek philosophy: Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. First, we meet Socrates. Socrates was a unique man who walked around the streets of Athens simply talking to people. He did not claim to be smart. In fact, his most famous idea was, I only know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. We realize that the most dangerous people are those who pretend to know everything when they actually know nothing. Authority and never accept things blindly. Next comes his student Plato. Plato wanted to know what is real and what is just temporary shadow. He used a beautiful analogy called the allegory of the cave. Imagine people trapped inside a dark cave since birth. Facing a blank wall, behind them is a fire, and when objects passes in front of the fire, shadows are thrown into the wall. To the prisoners, those shadows are reality. But if one prisoner breaks free, walks outside into the bright sunlight and sees real trees and animals, he realized he was living in a total illusion. Plato argued that our physical world is just a world of shadow, and true reality exists in the world of perfect ideas and concepts. Finally, we meet Aristotle, who was Plato's student. Aristotle did not agree with Plato about separate world of ideas. He was a practical man who loved to categorize nature. He believed that everything we have in our minds come from what we experience through our five senses. He taught us to look at the real world, study facts, and use logic to build our understanding of life. The secret of our reality. As a sophist learned about the Enlightenment, the scientific revolution, and thinkers like Descartes, who famously said, I think therefore I am, the mystery in her own life starts to take a terrifying turn. strange things began happening around her. Eventually, Alberto Knox reveals the shocking, mind-blowing truth to Sophie. Sophie's world is not real. Sophie and Alberto are actually fictional characters inside a book. This book is being written by the Major, Albert Knox, as a special 15th birthday present for his real-world daughter. Imagine how terrifying it would be to find out that your thoughts, your feelings, your room, and your family are just words written on a page by a man sitting in a cabin somewhere. Berkeley believed that the physical world does not exist on its own. He argued that things only exist because they are perceived by a mind. In Sophie's case, she only exists because she is being imagined by the author, escaping the script and finding meanings. Once Sophie and Alberto realize they are just characters in a story, they refuse to give up. They decided to use the very philosophy they have been studying to regain their freedom. Alberto teaches Sophie about existentialism, a philosophy made famous by thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre. Existentialism says that humans are not born with fixed purpose. We are completely free, and because we are free, we must create our own meanings through our choice. Even though the author controls their script, Alberto and Sophie hatch a brilliant plan to escape the book during a chaotic birthday party. The author writes for them. They manage to slip out of the narrative entirely, becoming in the real world where Hills and her father live. This book ends with a profound lessons about our place in the cosmos. Hills' father explains to her how the universe starts with the Big Bang. He tells her that every single atom in our bodies, the carbon in our bones, the iron in our bloods, was once cooked inside the core of a star billions of years ago. We are not separate from the universe. We are living, breathing part of it. When you look up at the bright sky and wonder about the stars, it is actually the universe looking back itself. It is must read for absolute anyone who has ever felt a sense of wonder about life, and it is the perfect starting point for beginners who want to understand how human thoughts was evolved over the centuries. You can find the book link in the description below. Now I want to hear from you. If you found out today that your life was a story being written by someone else, what is the very first things you would try to change about your script? Let me know in the comments below. If you find this breakdown helpful, hit the like buttons and subscribe to Book Paradise for more simple, powerful summaries every single week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm Anik, and remember, never lose your childhood wonder, because a life without questions is a life spent fast asleep. See you in the next video.